Hi, Chris with SunBlue Energy. This is our second in our Q&A series, speaking to strategic partners. Today's focus is real estate. We have Stephen Geiger here today. If you'd like to introduce yourself, Stephen.
How are you? Steve Geiger. I run GSL Signature Properties out of Scarsdale with William Raveis.
Thanks for coming, Stephen.
You're very welcome.
So Stephen and I have known each other for years. He's worked in real estate for years. He's an expert in the field. And we're looking to get an idea of, the first question would be, solar energy system, you install it on your home and you're creating your own electricity. So you're making, by producing your own electricity, you're making anywhere between $2,500 and $5,000 a year because you're not paying the utility for that electricity. The system is warranted for 25 years and it's a 30-year life. So you have a home that has a 30-year solar energy system on it. Say it has 15, 20 years left when you sell the home. Conveying to the customer, potential buyer, that you have 20 years left, making about $3,000 to $4,000 a year, without even assuming the electrical rates go up, has a value of around $80,000. How is that then how is that portrayed to the new homeowner, the buyer, on what kind of value that adds to the home?
Well, thanks, Chris, for the question. We tell homeowners, electricity costs today are a significant monthly nut in their housing expenses, like a mortgage and their taxes. So being able to be partially off the grid or totally off the grid is a big value, because we have to assume, and we know from historical data, that utility costs are going to continue to rise. So we tell them it's valuable and it's an asset to have and very low maintenance. And a lot of times, depending on their lifestyle, all that savings they can use to raise a family, to travel, to do a lot of other things. So it's a big, big value.
Okay. Now, solar's been around for a long time. We've been in business 17 years, but there's been studies for a long time that solar should increase the value of your home. One old study was, for every dollar you save in energy every year, adds $20 to the value of your home. I'm not sure how much that has gotten over. That was done in California years ago. I don't know if that's translated to the real estate market here in more of a measurable way. Can you speak on how, if it is actually factored in a quantitative way, or is it more along the lines of what you just described, the buyer, conveying to the buyer that you're going to be able to control your energy costs?
It's really on a case-by-case basis, because if you would compare two identical homes, one with solar panels and one without, there should be a difference in the value of the home.
Okay.
Realtors don't per se calculate that value in pricing a home, but those who are knowledgeable, like myself, we kind of explain to the buyers and the sellers the value of having solar.
Okay, no, that makes a lot of sense. Is it a searchable criteria like, okay, we want a home that's 4 bedrooms with solar or anything like that?
There are search criteria when you look for homes with solar, if people ask for it. Most people don't. Most people are looking for a roof over their head, and they really do need a realtor who can educate them on all aspects of the home and saving on their utilities to make their lifestyle better and more affordable in today's world is very, very important. Okay. So we educate them, but there are search criteria in our MLS.
Oh, that's great. The real estate agent, real estate agents, you are a real estate agent. You know how the value of solar is, but how would we get that more out there so that it becomes more of like a rule instead of an exception, that most real estate agents would know the value of the solar, or is it still just like a competitive advantage between you and others that you do know?
It's educating.
Yeah.
Everything is about educating. Everything I do is educating our sellers, educating our buyers, and educating realtors. Like when I teach my team, I don't just educate them on the real estate aspects of it, but I educate them how they can serve our clients better, because I look at ourselves as servants to our clients, and we're there to protect them and to do right by them. So it's really all about education, and I think a lot of agents aren't educated and don't care about education, unfortunately.
Yeah, so that's everything you just mentioned is pretty much, we share the same values here at SunBlue Energy, making sure that the homeowner is protected and they know what they're getting. Solar is very straightforward, but making sure that the customer understands how it works and what it means to them, it makes it less of an unknown and much more transparent and comfortable for the homeowner. As far as we only offer ownership of a system where the homeowner owns the system from day one. The reason being that all the benefits then go to the homeowner instead of giving them to, say, a third party through a prepaid lease or PPA or lease to own, however it's being described. I wanted to ask you about selling a home with a solar energy system that's owned, and then if you ran into any issues, or if you ran into any issues selling a home that was third party owned.
Mm-hmm. We've had both situations, Chris. I've had buyers who have looked at homes that have solar panels. Most of them are leased because people don't want to pay the upfront costs, and they're very short-sighted in that, because the third parties are the ones that get the bulk of the benefit rather than the homeowner.
Mm-hmm.
So even in the seller's market, we've been able to negotiate terms where we've been able to have the sellers pay off the balance of the lease, and so our buyers have the full savings benefit of having the solar panels on their roof. On the other side, when we have owners, we tell them pay off the lease, because then we can market the home in a much more positive light for the buyers, and maybe get them much more than what paying off the lease would be in the ultimate sale of their home. So I'm in the same camp as you. Solar panels should always be owned and not leased, because the homeowner doesn't really benefit from that.
It makes all the sense in the world. It's nice to hear someone else who's in the industry, in business, say that. When we say to the potential customers, "Oh, okay, you're going to increase the value of your home by $20,000 or $30,000," and the simple math would be similar to, "Oh, you sell the house 10 years into the solar energy system, you still have 20 years left. You're saving about $4,000 a year. That's $80,000. You could probably sell the home for $20,000 or $30,000 more." I know it's not as quantifiable on your end. I know that a lot of real estate agents don't have the information you do, or are not educating themselves or their homeowners the way you do. Do you have any suggestions for how we can make it more like a mainstream understanding of this?
How to make it mainstream is really hard,
Yeah.
but we know, and even if there's 10 years life or 20 years life left on panels, we know if you could put a value on it, whether it's $20,000 or $30,000, it's usually worth a lot more, because utility costs and electric costs are going up anywhere from 6 to 8 to 10% a year, which is much more than inflation. So the value is actually greater. And if you explain it to the buying public, they'll understand it. They just need to be made aware of it.
Your crystal ball, because I always remember meeting with a potential customer about 10 or 12 years ago. And she was an older woman, I think a retired librarian, and she said, "Well, of course I want to get solar. It's going to get to the point where the home that doesn't have the solar is going to look odd." And I'm like, wow, that's so cool to think that way. Well, that was 10 or 12 years ago. We're not there yet. It will get to the point where, why would you buy a home that doesn't create its own electricity versus a home that does create its own electricity? It would be great if there was a tipping point where, it'd be harder to sell a home without solar. I know we're not there yet. Do you think we'll ever get there?
We're never going to get, it's like electric cars.
Okay.
And turbine cars. We're never going to be 100%.
Yeah.
But I think there is a tipping point that there'll be more and more and more self-generating electric homes with solar and other aspects too. So I think it's going to get more efficient and more affordable for the public. So I think we're getting there slowly but surely.
No, that's great. Anything that you want to add about how you're doing the business? We Steve and I have known each other, but he recently sent out a flyer about checking your utility bills and considering that. Is there anything you wanted to speak about regarding that?
No, I talk to homeowners all the time, and now it's very funny, as our taxes in our area are rising, our utility costs are rising, and those are probably the two largest elements of becoming a homeowner. So I tell them, if they can save on one or two of those elements, they're going to increase the value of their home. So we always look at it from a monetary standpoint, but at the same time, they live in the home. So whether they put in a pool and heat it and make it more affordable, there's so many ways to take advantage of solar, and all it is constant education and constant reminders.
Great. And what I do have one last question. We always like to emphasize solar energy system is one of the only, maybe the only renovation to your home that adds value to the home, but also starts paying you back as you are actually in the home, because once you start creating your own electricity, you're saving money, you're not paying for the utility, you are creating a commodity energy and getting paid for it. So say you spend $25,000 on a kitchen renovation, that's going to add, I don't know, you know the numbers better, $30,000 to the value of your home. You're enjoying the kitchen, which is nice. That is its own payment. But you're not getting a dollar payment until you actually sell the home. With solar, you're getting a dollar payment every month. Do I have that right as far as just solar being the only one like that? Or is there, people in their home, they know solar's working, they see it in their utility bills, but it may not have the same day-to-day feel that a kitchen or a new bathroom.
Well, we had a client, just as an example. They bought the home many years ago. They did renovations, and they put on solar panels, and they had ductless units, and they had multiple zones in the house, and they were able to enjoy their life much more.
Okay.
Because their utility bill is basically the connection charge to Con Ed, and they took one cost element out of their monthly budget and were able to enjoy their home better and enjoy their lifestyle much better, even when they weren't in the home.
Oh, that's great. And I keep on thinking of more questions. By doing proper insulation of the walls and sealing the envelope of the home, making it much more comfortable and cost-effective, energy efficient, potentially combining geothermal or mini splits or heat pumps, electric air conditioning and heating with a solar energy system, there are times where you can have a home that covers all of your heating and cooling needs. If you have an EV, your fuel needs. We do have customers that are doing that currently with just the sun. Do you see more and more electric heating and cooling options out there for people doing that in their home?
Right. There are people doing it. People are getting off of oil. People are getting off of natural gas because these resources are limited. And over time, they're going to get either people who are energy conscious and environmentally conscious are taking the lifestyle element more important than the dollar amount.
Okay.
So you have two types of buyers. One who are looking at the dollar effect of how it makes their home more efficient, and then people are more conscious of the environment as well. So geothermal, making the home more energy conserving energy within the home, whether it be through insulation. They're looking at all the different aspects. So I work with all different partners in that element.
No, that's great. And it's great to have the people that are environmentally conscious. There are a lot of people who just do solar because of the financial. It's really the financial, and some people, we just blast the air conditioning in our house because we have the sun creating the electricity. So the sun, you mentioned the limited resources of fossil fuels, and the sun is unlimited. Well, thank you for your time, Stephen.
You're very welcome.
Really appreciate it.
Thanks for your time, and look forward to collaborating in the future.
Sounds good. Thanks.